And with me now, Democratic strategist and principal at the Dewey Square Group, Marianne Marsh. Marianne, in case you can't tell, I am infuriated. And I don't think it's funny.
Welcome back, Judge.
I don't think it's funny, Marianne. Was she off her game, or what's wrong with her?
Well, I don't think she apologized, frankly. I thought when you look at her statement, she doubled down. And I think the very surprising thing about this is, Judge, everything she said last night, she has said weeks previously. She's given speeches about it. This is not the first time or the second time or the third time she's made these comments. She's said it throughout this campaign. I think the surprising thing here is it's the first time the Trump campaign has objected to it. That's the only thing that's different here.
Okay, I'm objecting to it. You see, Marianne, they are neck and neck. And she says that you can put the Trump campaign into a basket, half of whom are deplorable, racist, sexist, misogynist, xenophobes, and the rest are just like losers. I am an American. I come from a family of veterans. And for her to suggest, when she's the one who claims she's a feminist and is taking all this cash, and her husband's taking all this cash from countries that don't even believe in women's rights, I mean, she's talking out of both sides of her mouth. And by the way, Marianne, while we're at it, and I'll give you a chance to talk, and thank you for saying welcome back, but I just read that FBI report. She said she had one BlackBerry for convenience. She had 13 BlackBerries and 5 iPads. Oh, come on. Aren't you embarrassed?
No, I read the report, too. And it is also on page 20 where it says there was nothing in the headers. So we both read the report.
No. I'm not asking you about the headers. The woman said she had one BlackBerry. She had 13 BlackBerries, and they were crashing them with hammers, and they were destroying them, and 5 iPads. Why did she lie like that?
It was going, the 13, if you read the report, you noted it goes back to when she was in the Senate through the time she was Secretary of State. Most people burn through those every 2 years. But let me address your points about her statement last night.
Yeah.
She didn't call people losers, and she didn't call you names either. She
I'm a
pointing
Trump
out, however,
supporter, and I'm in one of those two baskets.
Well, if you put yourself in there, then I'm surprised because I've never heard you say the things that she has discussed, which is she pointed out that there are people who are racist, who are Islamophobic, who are homophobic, who are xenophobic. Go down the list, and there are leaders of those groups, the alt-right, the white nationalists who have come out and endorsed Donald Trump.
Are all the criminals on her side? Are all the criminals on her side?
Well, unfortunately, Judge, I hate to point this out, but Donald Trump has made many deplorable comments about women, about African Americans, about Muslims, about Mexicans, about President Obama,
Marianne,
about
I gotta stop
families,
you. Marianne,
Marianne,
you're my friend. Please, this is not about Trump or her. She's talking about me. She's saying that because I support Trump, I am a xenophobe, a racist, or someone who doesn't represent America.
That is not what she said. That is clearly not what she said. And the other part that you referred to losers, the other part are the people who have been wronged by the government, by the economy, who feel that they played by the rules and got played for fools. So those are the two groups she sees that support the Trump candidacy. And Donald Trump does play into that by many of the comments he makes. I will point to one thing, and it shows you the dilemma many Republicans are in. Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, when Donald Trump criticized Judge Curiel because his parents were born in Mexico and claimed he couldn't do his job because of it, Paul Ryan said that criticism is the definition of racism. Yet, Paul Ryan still supports Donald Trump and told Hillary Clinton she should apologize.
You're changing the topic. This is the reason I'm so angry, Marianne, is because she's coming after us. And I guarantee you that it took 17 hours to apologize, probably because she was sleeping, because her people had to convince her, hey, Hillary, you're going to lose this election. It's neck and neck. And if you don't apologize to those people, you're going to lose. Last word.
Two things,
Make
Judge.
it fast.
Okay. You are not the head of Breitbart News, Steve Bannon, who now runs Donald Trump's campaign, who self-identifies as the alt-right. There are plenty of examples I could give, and we could go on and on. But the reality here is The race isn't quite as close as you think it is. She has more paths to victory right now than Donald Trump, but it is a close race. I've always said it's going to be a close race. It'll be a close race through November, but I think you have really misunderstood her comments last night, and I think that's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, you know what? English is my first language, and I'm pretty smart as it goes. Thanks, Marianne Marsh. All
Good to see you,
right,
Judge.
and now to my panel. All right, Boris Epstein with the Trump campaign and Chris Hahn. I got to tell you, a lot of people are upset about this. And do me a favor, guys. You know why? I want to have a smart discussion about this. I am outraged by what she said. And I'm not going to let you go off on this, Boris. Chris, what I want to know is this. When she made that statement, was that statement a mistake?
Absolutely. I am. And by the way, and when I saw this morning, when I woke up and I knew I was coming on with you tonight, I said, oh, my God, I better bring roses for the judge. She is going to think this about her.
Where's the roses?
So on behalf of every Democrat pundit in America, Judge, it's okay. I don't think she was talking about you, and she should regret it. You should never talk about your opponent's supporters.
What?
You should talk about your opponent all you want.
But you know what that is? That's the Saul Alinsky approach, where you marginalize and demonize the enemy.
Look, I mean, I've been accused. There are a lot of people who out there say, you know, all liberals are this or all conservatives are that. All of nothing is nothing. People are people, and people support a candidate for a variety of reasons. Some of them rational, some of them irrational, but all of them are based on something in their personal lives. And you can never take an attack out on a person's supporters. You say why you're the better candidate. You say why your opponent differs.
Hurt her?
I don't think so. You know why? And I've been saying this a lot because, and Boris, you'll agree with me. I don't think this election is about Hillary Clinton anymore. I think this election is a referendum on whether or not Donald Trump is fit to be president.
I will not agree with that.
Not anymore.
I will absolutely not agree
with that.
Boris. So Hillary Clinton has been hated in public for over 25, 30 years. The public is just getting to know Donald Trump, and they don't hate him. They may disagree with things he said. For Donald Trump, it's words. For her, it's been actions, that she's been wrong in her actions, Secretary of State, but now it's words for her, too. This was disrespectful. It was deplorable, really, for her to say that. And here's the question. What else has she been saying in these fundraisers that we don't know about? You know this is how she truly feels. She's been hiding from the media for almost a year. What else has she said? What is truly in her mind? And now it's coming out.
Okay, when you said that at the fundraisers, I had to reach out for some notes. Do you know, when you said that, I wanted to say, what else has she said, like, at some of these Wall Street events?
Right.
Like Goldman Sachs, when she gave these speeches. Did you know that this week Goldman Sachs put out a memo and said that no employees are allowed to give Donald Trump money? Goldman Sachs put out a memo.
Wow.
It was in the Wall Street Journal.
You know who this really
Are
hurts
you
her with?
kidding?
This really hurts her with the Bernie Sanders voters. That's where it hurts the most. The Bernie Sanders voters who are disenfranchised, they feel that they've been wronged by the establishment. And this sort of statement on Wall Street at Cipriani's, which is very nice. And listen, God bless.
Great.
She wants to sip champagne cocktails with Barbara Streisand, but that's not what the American people in Ohio,
I mean, the
Florida.
Bernie Sanders thing.
Remember we just talked about
I know, but you've got 2
Ohio,
minutes now.
Florida, and Pennsylvania. That's not what the voters want.
Okay, so now that she has said this, you know what? I am reminded of Mitt Romney, 47%. There was some truth to it, and he paid dearly for it.
He did.
All right? There's no truth to half the basket are the deplorables, and they are not America. I'm as America as you get. My father, was on a ship to Nagasaki. My grandfather stormed the beach in Normandy. I'm infuriated.
I don't think it hurt Mitt Romney as bad as the media made it out to be. I think the election was pretty much set by that point in time. And I don't think that it hurt him. I think it played into a narrative that was continuing about him, that he was out of touch and that he thought people were beneath him.
And that's why it hurt. And that's why this hurts her.
But
it plays
she's
into a narrative of
seasoned
aloof.
politician.
She's not. She's a terrible candidate. Look at her history
I
as a
didn't say
candidate.
she was a good one. I'm saying she's been through the ropes for 30 years.
Yeah, well, two senatorial elections, which were, with all due respect to my good friend Rick Lazio, not the hardest elections. Then she got crushed in 08 by a freshman senator. Then she almost lost to a 74-year-old socialist in the primary. And now, listen, the Democrats just a couple of weeks ago were talking about how, the Republican Party is going to give up on Donald Trump. Look where we are now. Leading in North Carolina, leading in Ohio, leading in Florida.
This was a mistake. But you know who else was a snake? Talking about how Putin's a great leader when he's a dictator.
No, he didn't say he was a great leader. He said he was a leader.
He said he was a better leader than the democratically elected president of this United States.
That's a pivot.
You know what? And you know what? I got to tell you.
Oh, you know, I got to pivot. Give me that.
Just
talking about this all day.
Let's talk about her health. Okay, I'm reading the FBI report. I come back from vacation. I'm all excited. I want to show everyone my pictures I can. It was wonderful. I can't show you pictures. Too much news. Anyway, what'd you say?
Hamptons?
No. Way far away.
All right.
Anyway, and so she says she can't remember half this stuff and whether or not she was informed about whether or not she should sign this or sign that because she had a concussion and then she had a brain clot and then she doesn't remember anything. Now she's got no stamina. She's got no events. Trump is like quadrupling her and doing more events than she has. The woman can't remember stuff. She's tripping. She's coughing. And Dr. Drew lost his job, I'm reading, because he said she's got health issues. Is she going to make it to election?
Yes, she's going to make it. She's perfectly healthy.
How do you know?
Donald Trump's got to do events. It's all his campaign is. He doesn't have a ground game. He doesn't
need the ground game.
He absolutely does.
And you're incorrect. We have a great ground game.
Yeah, now they have a ground game. I don't care about the ground game.
12.
I'm talking about the stamina. I want a president who's going to be working 18 hours a day. This woman was sleeping for 16 hours. That's why I took so long.
We're going to talk about health. Let's get a real doctor to examine Donald Trump. I know he's friends with I know he's friends with Putin. I hope he doesn't do a shirtless horseback riding trip with him.
You know what? You want to talk about Hillary? Isn't Hillary the one that did the reset button? Isn't Obama the one who said after the election, tell him that we'll have a conversation?
And Bill Clinton made $500,000 for a 90-minute speech in Moscow. And by the way, Donald Trump has said, hey, Clinton, put out your health records. I'm putting out all mine.
Well, I like to see him put out his health. He has put out his tax returns.
What makes you think the guy's not well? The guy's like, he's nonstop. He's the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, complete dynamite. It's not. If you look at their schedules from August to now, she's doing events. She's doing fundraisers.
That he's done, huh? They're telling me they're pulling it up.
She's raised $124 million in 1 month.
What, from the foundation? What'd she do? Move the cash from here to here? Did they fly it in on a plane?
To get rid of an investigation. Let's remember that.
The Clintons have always been good at taking money.
Don't talk about the foundation.
Oh, you don't want to talk about the Trump Foundation.
Yeah, right.
I'll happily talk about it. There's no issue there whatsoever.
No issue?
No issue. The foundation keeps mistaken identity.
Campaign had 12 events. Trump had between 25 and 36.
And she had fundraisers with billionaires.
And by the way, most of her events, they have to add walls because nobody shows up. His, they're blocks long.
And you know what? Crowd size do not equal votes.
Yeah?
Just ask Bernie
Well,
Sanders.
That's only if dead people are voting.
Oh, come on, Judge. You don't believe that.
I do. I prosecuted those cases.
Bernie Sanders went from 5% to 50%. He did pretty well.
All right.
Here's the bottom line.
All right, well, everybody, that was a real free-for-all. I apologize. Boris Epstein, Chris Hahn. It's our first day back.
This is my best.
You were not as bad as on MSNBC.
Donald Trump versus, all right, guys, shh. Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton on national security. We've got a retired general and Trump supporter, Remo Butler. He's standing by to talk live about that and more. And later, the FBI says that Hillary's aides destroyed her BlackBerries with a hammer. So you know where I had to go with that one. And you can't miss this.
So a judge walks into a hardware store with two brothers and buys a hammer. What's up? Street justice coming up.
And you can't miss this. I put Hillary's methods to the test. See, I got a big hammer as justice rolls on.